Good morning and welcome to Race Industry Now, the weekly webinar series from ePowerTrade, presented to you by ARP, Performance Plus Global Logistics, Feria Racing Components, Peak, Fifth Third Bank Motorsport, Quire, and CTEC. I am Francisque Savignan, the founder and CEO of ePowerTrade, the racing industry, every minute, every day. This is episode 533, and we're going to be hosting Laba7, a new company that's run by a very talented group of people. So I'm delighted to have them on the program. So with me this morning are Judy Kin, the co-founder of ePowerTrade, and a wonderful host, Mr. Brad Gilly. Judy.
Thank you, Francisque. And boy, when you list off those brands of our sponsors, those are powerful brands. And that's just a statement of what we're doing here. And since we have so many new companies attending today, Brad, you're going to have a lot of new people on. I'm going to take a second and kind of share more about what we do. We mixed in our 100+ years of trade show experience, combined that with technology, and created a racing and performance destination. So now buyers could go on there, log onto the platform, and reach out to suppliers all year long. And then we sprinkle on these technical webinars and really give a lot of technology and growth and education to our industry. So Brad?
Brad, you're on mute. We've got a little issue with Brad.
Yeah, I forgot to put the wrong button. It's been a while. Judy, Francis, thank you so much. This is such a wonderful thing that we do here every single week, and it's great to be back in the flow of it. And we look forward to chatting with you guys at the end after we learn a whole lot about suspension product testing and things like that. So we'll talk to you all again here shortly.
I think Andrius is joining us, so we'll wait for his camera to start and his microphone, and then Brad will let you take over. Good afternoon, Andrius.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Actually, thank you very much. Hi, everyone who is watching us, and I'm really pleased to be here with you.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Before we get started, I want to remind our viewers who are with us here live right now that if you have a question at any time during this conversation, please just type it into the chat. This is your webinar. We want to be able to interact with you just like we're at a trade show. So any questions that you might have for Andrius, whatever it might be, please just let us know. And Andrius, if you had anything to share with your screen, slides or anything like that, by all means, just take care of everything you need. But can't wait for this. Today's webinar topic, redefining the future of vehicle testing with Laba7. And did I pronounce that right? Is that how you pronounce it, Andrius?
Yes, that's right. It's Laba7.
Okay. Fantastic. So Andrius is the CEO of Laba7, and give us a quick overview of some of the things that we're going to be talking about with our topic here today, and we'll get into some questions and let you showcase all the great things you're doing.
Yeah, so maybe in the beginning, I will share some slides. I will explain a little bit who are we, what we are doing, how we came up with the ideas and so on. So maybe we'll start with that one. And after that, we can go through some questions from what is our technology, a little bit deeper into the technical stuff. And I really hope so our viewers will have some additional questions.
Awesome. Look forward to it. Yeah, so show us what you have, and again, really look forward to it. You have very cool products.
We are trying to push it to the limits. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, so what is Laba7 and what we are doing in general? We are, at least now, we are operating in suspension testing, diagnosis, and repair market. And what we are doing, we are developing next generation, and maybe I can use this word, or really innovative solutions, hardware and software solutions for testing and diagnosis of shock absorbers. And probably I can say already a suspension. More or less, one moment. Yes. So we started not that long ago, comparing to our competitors. We are only 5 years now in the market. And on 2020, I had an idea. Yeah, I will tell about it a little bit later, to start the company which produces equipment in a little bit different way, in innovative way, in up-to-date technology. And also I'm really pushing the design-wise or design questions, so the equipment not only does and performs good, but it also looks good. So this is about equipment. Now we have maybe six groups of equipment, and yeah. We started on 2020. We started with the Scotch yoke dynos, quite probably, I could say, quite a simple machine. But at that moment, when I started doing first prototypes, I understood it's not really simple, because when you connect all three matters, hardware is like mechanical stuff, electronics, and then a software solution, you have pretty complicated device where everything needs to perform smoothly. And yeah, that brings a lot of hard work to make it right. Later on 2022, we introduced spring measuring machines. I think in US they are now called sometimes spring smashers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And vacuum bleed pumps, which are used for taking out the air from the monotube shock absorbers, and yeah, they are widely. Those are one of the machines that we are selling. Yeah, probably tens or not tens, hundreds a year, and so on. So this is our bestseller product. Later on, we moved to the car corner scales. I know that those are widely used. However, we didn't make something cheap. We really focused on the quality. So they are maybe a little bit on the expensive side when looking into the market, but we are really sure about the quality and the results and the measurements they give. So from 2022 till now, basically, we have been developing a machine called EMA, or some other people might know it as electromagnetic linear testing actuator. That machine is really a piece of art, and it takes a lot of energy, a lot of know-how, a lot of technical skills and understanding to build it. So it would not be very easy for us. We did it a little bit differently comparing to very few competitors that we have in the market. We developed everything from the scratch. It means we didn't take some off-the-shelf controllers or off-the-shelf power regulators and so on. No, we have done all of the electronics design, all of the drivers of the MOSFETs and so on. We have done all the power electronics ourselves, and also we included some special power control or power distribution units, which I will tell a little bit later about. So this was our product road up until now. And you can see here in the slide which products do we have, and a little bit the range to understand, you know, what do we have in our basket, what we are selling. So the one that I told about, the last one, was electromagnetic testing machine, the one that we are really proud of, and we have a very good traction with this product. Many companies are already bought it or willing to buy it. So we, let's say, invested a lot in it. And then, of course, our workhorse, how we call it, the Scotch yoke dyno machines, spring rate testers, or spring rate measurement machines. We have what we have is that the same product we do in different levels. So anyone on the market, either it's like entry-level product or version of the product, or like super high level with the highest power and everything, we have different versions for everyone or every user in the market. And then, as I mentioned, the vacuum bleed pumps, car corner scales, we have done them wirelessly. You have a nice Android or iOS app, and you can have a lot of measurements comparing to our competition in the market. And of course, we have some suspension tools or some simple tools, as I probably can say that, which just makes life a little bit easier for the guys in the workshops. Yes, we have quite many customers. I think we have over 600 customers in 30 countries or even 40 countries now.
Wow.
Yeah, we are getting traction also in US, and soon we will have some big news for that. But we are already working with most of the top tier guys from F1, F2, from Dakar, regarding the manufacturers like Volkswagen, KW, Penske, and so on. So yeah, those are our clients already. And now with our latest machine, we are also entering OEM manufacturers like maybe, I'm not sure if I can mention them all, but yeah, when we are working with bigger guys, we are limited with all this, NDA and confidentiality stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so why customers choose us most often? It's really accurate data that you get with our machines. So we try to make data unfiltered or somehow other mathematically adjusted, so you can literally get what you're measuring. We manufacture our machines to last, so you don't need, to fix them all the time or to have a downtime. We really invest not only how the machine looks like, we also invest in the software and how intuitive it is or how it's easy to use it is, and so on, because that's really important. When you're working every day with the machine, you want it to be easy to use. That's how we call it. Another thing that I'm really proud of, or Laba7 is proud of, is a customer support. We have dedicated people who basically, more or less 24/7 will answer all your questions, whether those questions are just a questions, how to use this or this feature in our equipment, or that's some technical support that's needed to be done. And of course, as I mentioned before, it's design. So it's not only equipment, but it also makes your workshop looking better.
I love that quite a bit, actually.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, over this time, developing the equipment, we became really, because we are doing all of everything, programming, electronics design, electronics manufacturing, all the mechanical design in-house. We became experts in three basically fields. First one is when we are talking about linear motion, or how we control the linear motion of the EMA machine. We really implemented some of the special algorithms which allows, no matter what kind of shock absorber you are testing, doesn't matter the setup and so on, but machine literally tests it and keeps the waveform as you want it to be. Next thing is precision data logging. And that's really important because if you don't have enough data points when you're testing your shock absorbers and everything, you might lose little spots which are really important afterwards. Because these days the automotive sports, to reach the some level, it's easy, but when you want to be number one, everything matters, literally. So, and then our last thing, which we learned a lot, it's high power or high power supply units. So we are patenting a stuff or a solution that allows you to have really, really high power machines without having a high power mains installation. And that is, how to say, it's sometimes you have a money to have a very powerful machine or very good machine, but to have a mains installation, it's just impossible in some workshops or in some places. So we literally solved this issue. Yeah, so about our machines and our pipeline, we finished with the EMA machine. Of course, we are making it still upgrades and add-ons and so on for it. But this year, I will also maybe mention a little bit later, we will enter the market of power measuring equipment or power measuring tools, which called just dynos probably. And also with all our know-how, we have some clients who are pushing us to enter universal testing machines. So it's just general purpose testing machines market. Yeah, a little bit about us. It's not only me working, 24/7 here. We are now maybe a team of 24 people. So we have dedicated salespeople. We have dedicated guys for the customer support. Of course, our R&D is now our all team is like 5 or 6 people already in the R&D department. I myself am a main founder and CEO, but I also have Andrius Petkauskas, who started or joined very early in the beginning of Laba7. So we're pushing this all together, but all the team is consistent and consists of really professional guys. Yeah, so probably this is a little bit about the Laba7 itself and who are we?
Yeah, it's impressive, Andrius. It truly is impressive. And a couple of things just from, what you're presenting to us. I'll be honest with you. I'm a huge fan that when you're talking about your products, how you cover everything. Design, ease of use, quality, and all of that. Because sometimes people say, hey, look, we want to make a quality product. But to think about the design, to think about how someone's going to use it, to think about how it looks and all of those other things, for me, that's an attention to detail that says that everything that goes into your product is well thought out and well covered. And I think that truly you guys should truly be commended for that, because it's real easy to cut a corner here somewhere. It seems like you guys are making sure you fill every corner.
Yeah, so basically, it's like extra mile to go. It requires a little bit of additional work, but I think it's really worth it when we are talking about the product.
Yeah, for sure. We are getting some questions from the chat, which is awesome, and we will definitely get to those. I do want to ask you a couple of things about what inspired the development of Laba7's testing and diagnostic equipment. It seems very thorough what you have.
So it's not how to say, it's not some surprise. I myself, from very very early days, I was passionate about motorcycles. I was always looking to them with the spark in the eyes. Later on, I went for my studies in Denmark. I finished their mechanical engineering. Later on, I went back to Lithuania. So all this time, I was somehow involved in the motorcycle racing and car racing and so on. So this is my passion. How did Laba7 appeared? It was my friend. So I was doing some products and some engineering services and so on. My friend who owned the workshop of suspension workshop, he just asked me, can you just make me a shock dyno? And I was, yeah, of course. And I know it's like 2 months and you will have it. And yeah, it was not 2 months. It took it took much longer than that. But after I made the first prototype, I saw, okay, yeah, maybe this is a product that literally meets my passion for automotive, and I would love to do it like long term. So this is how the first prototype, or how the beginning started. And then later on I saw that, okay, maybe this is really nice product. I like it. And we started expanding the team. I started expanding the portfolio of products and so on. So short saying for how it started, it's basically a passion for automotive industry and so on. Long saying, yeah, so it's a long journey.
Yeah, for sure. And I also like as well, showing your team of 20 plus people, but you and your co-founder, the other Andrius, you with a
Yes.
mechanical engineering background, and he with a software engineering background as well. That seems to combine perfectly with what you're producing.
Yeah, that was definitely a perfect fit because maybe I have like understanding what I want from the software, but I am not a programming guy.
I like that. How does LABA7's technology now improve the efficiency and precision of suspension diagnostics and repair?
So our advanced testing tools, helps to tackle down the challenges that guys faces in the workshops while servicing the shock absorbers. You want to literally know that you are giving the good one after the service to your client, that it really works. And many people, they might say that, oh, I know I finished it good, I fixed it, and I know that it's working, but you cannot know without testing it or without measuring it. So even the ones who are working with the shock absorbers, they understand that even the small debris in the shim stack or some bleeding issues or filling the oil issues might lead, to the not working shock absorber. Later on, you have warranty claims and so on, so on. So just to reduce this or have a better customer's experience from your side, it's something how we help our customers. And yeah, I mean that's basically that's it. And
No,
when we are go ahead.
I was gonna say I like that. I mean, again, it's not only did you develop a great solution, but you can answer the why. Like, here's why this helps, and I'm sure there are plenty of people out there, like you said, I fixed it, I rebuilt it, I know it works.
Yeah,
You,
and I mean, when we are talking about OEMs or big guys who are they are not rebuilding the shock absorbers, they are developing them, they are manufacturing them, and so on. With EMA now, we are basically helping them or opening the doors for faster and more precise or easier, faster development. So when you don't have to find the solutions for your development, you have one-step solution, or like you can get everything from one supplier. So this is what we are looking forward to do and already doing with the big guys.
That's wonderful. We do have some questions from the chat. I'd love to get to those, because definitely these are things that people want to know. First question that's come through: can you simulate riding level, rider weight, and terrain to evaluate if the fork and shock setting are correct or not?
It's interesting question. It depends, what we are talking about. The shock dyno, probably, I guess.
It may be so. I think of myself as a fellow motorcyclist. A lot of people hop on a motorcycle and they're going to set the sag, and
Yeah.
okay, I have everything right. And this question is more like, okay, can more so than that, that covers rider weight when you're talking about that. But can you simulate like the riding level and maybe even simulate some terrain to know if the fork and shock setting are correct, and maybe making that sag setting, if you will, just to keep it in simple terms, more dynamic in that, now you're not just sitting on it, but we're trying to simulate what the suspension's going to be doing over a given terrain. How about that?
Sure. I mean, our EMA machine, our latest machine, literally can simulate the track data. So you are going through the track, you collect the data with the data loggers, and later on, you don't have, for the testing of the new setup and so on, you don't have to go there again. It can be straight away imported into our software, and you can test it in the lab. And you can test it with different different setups and so on, and different testing setups.
Okay, I like that. And another question that may be actually a good follow-up came in from someone else, from Larry. Are there any plans to develop telemetry sensors to use with EMA?
Uh, this is really often asked question. We have a big research on this product, and we were thinking, and we are still thinking to develop it. We know that the market has a lot of competition, so I'm not sure if we want to enter this competition and start, competition wars. But if we will do it, we will do it properly.
Okay, I like that. And the follow-up to the first question that you just talked about, Yang Min actually said just a little more to follow up, say, let's say I'm a dirt bike rider. I rode motocross level silver. I think we covered the answer with, again, the,
Yeah.
testing the suspension, but that was just to clarify. Another question says, what is the power and speed of electromagnetic shock dyno?
Okay, that's something what is also very important when we are talking about different kind of level of shock absorbers, because you can be testing the shock absorbers for the passenger cars, and then we have Bahas and so on, which are generates a lot of damping force. So our biggest machine, it can reach up to 7 meters per second, which is probably covers most of the cases. Yeah, maybe Supercross, they have a little bit more on the forks. And we have tested the maximum power is 40 kilonewtons or 4 tons, which is also, covers most of the cases, maybe some truck racing, I don't know. We have tested the machines and we have reached, let's say, with some special dampers, almost 6 meters per second and 2 tons, because the speed and the load, it changes. It's like faster you go, less load you're able to generate with the machine.
I like that. Okay, this is interesting because we're going to talk about maybe a case study or a success story, but and I definitely want to hear that. But let's start with this from Simon Rogers. It says, "Hi, Andrius and team. As you know,
Hi, Simon.
right? Yeah, I would say you guys already know each other. Race Shocks UK were part of your OG family and assisted in guiding you with some of the challenges for a multi-manufacturer service center with really never testing the same suspension back to back. How does your new EMA software compare to our current software on the big crank dyno?"
So this file structure, it's really similar, and thanks to Simon, who really helped to develop or to improve our file structure and how the tests are let's say, shown in the software and so on. The main difference is how you create the test itself. So with the Scotch Yoke dynos, you are quite limited to the waveform, which is sine wave, and then you can choose only the speeds you want to test and how many cycles you want to do. With EMA, you can have any waveform you imagine. It's a sine wave, triangle, constant velocity, constant torque, and so on. You can have impulse testing. You can literally generate like hitting the big bump or big rock or something like that. You can have, as I mentioned, you can have a track data. So it's like you can have sweeps, chirps. You can generate everything in our software, and that machine literally allows you to test the shock absorbers in any possible scenario.
That's really cool. Do you have any other case studies or success stories where LABA7's equipment made a significant difference for a customer? Can you share something with us?
I mean, we have many of those. We have many of those through the years. Maybe some that really highlights that you need equipment. We had one of our first customers, I think, if I remember good, who were developing rally dampers, and the testing guy who were testing them, he was always telling that, guys, these dampers are still too stiff. It's just too harsh for me to ride. And there was a point where the guys from the dynamics department said, like, look, it's basically there is no dampening at all, and you say it's still too stiff. Okay. So what they did, they got some other dampers from WRC just to compare, what is the difference, and they bought our dyno just to understand, just to measure what's the difference. And their damper or their dampening was something like 6-7 times less stiffer than it should be. So it was not stiff enough. So after that, they changed the setup. They made the shock absorbers much stiffer, and the problem was solved. So it's sometimes, the feeling, what you feel might be different from the actual stuff.
Yeah. And again, knowledge, having the information. I'm one who always believes you can't have too much information, but you also know how to have to know how to use it as well. And that's a great story of literally you have a problem. you think, this looks right solution might work and it doesn't. You actually need to see what's happening and using your equipment to be able to tell you exactly what's going on. That's a great story.
True. I mean, we had some more stories, when people, let's say, one of the old clients, he had the shock absorber brought to his workshop maybe fifth time, and it's leaking just after service. So he decided to run this shock absorber until it will start to leak on the dyno itself. And after the shock absorber heated up to, I don't know, close to probably 100 degrees, he saw that there is like micro crack in the shock absorber body. So without any machine in your workshop, it's just impossible to find these kind of issues.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Another question came in. I even wrote it down myself, and you sort of talked about it. You guys right now are shipping to 30 different countries and all of that, but um, I'll just ask what the question is. Do you ship worldwide, whether I'm in North America or Europe, South America, somewhere else? I mean, can I do work with Laba7?
Yes, literally, yes. So today there was a machine sold to Thailand and to US and to Germany. So basically, our machines are shipped worldwide. Every machine except Emma, we do installation. There's no like real installation, you just plug and play. We do the training and like explanation of them how to use the machine online. And with EMAs, we are traveling to the client to help to install the machine, to make a training. It's like a little bit longer, but the machine is also special. So yeah, we ship worldwide and we cover everything.
Oh, that's great. And I love the service as well. All right. This is great. We have a lot of people asking questions here today.
That's good.
Which it really is. This is awesome. All right. I joined late here today, so maybe you covered it. Is it possible to use, oh, hang on, it just scrolled up. Is it possible to use your test equipment in a hardware in the loop simulation?
Oh, yes. So basically, this will be our next success stories or next success story that I will cover quite soon, I guess, in the time. So we are already testing our EMA machine with very little delay in almost real-time testing with the hardware in the loop models, mathematical simulations. So this will allow our OEM customers or big customers to develop new shock absorbers, new suspension settings, and so on much faster, because now the game, the competition, and the new car development and new technology development, it's just crazy. I mean, you have to keep the pace and be on top, otherwise it's
Right. Yeah. But that's good. I mean, look, you always have to evolve and continue to move forward, which does bring us to a question, just, for us to have a conversation here as well. What does the future look like for Laba7? Any more upcoming innovations, new products in the pipeline? What can you tell us about what is going to continue into the future?
Yeah, so basically I already mentioned a little bit, but now with EMA, we really want to develop a full testing solution for the shock absorber. So it means with all the climatic chambers, simulating the different temperatures, with the humidity chambers and everything like that. We will also do with the new EMA, we will introduce it quite soon, the testing. We want to change, or at least maybe not change, maybe, sorry, be additional to hydraulic testing benches. So we want to introduce EMA machine, which can be used for endurance testing. And yeah, this is about the shock absorbers. However, with all our know-how, we want to go deeper into the testing of automotive itself. So as I mentioned earlier, we want to make a power measuring devices for the cars, for the motorcycles, for the agricultural, and so on. And of course, with all that stuff, we will also move to universal testing machines, which will make us, the testing company with all the know-how that we have and all the technical solutions that we have. I think we can deliver, quite a nice product.
That's really cool. While we're talking about new things and innovation, another question says, will the heating chamber be an add-on to the current EMA?
Yeah, that's basically add-on, just bolt-on stuff, which you can add to, even if you already bought it, the machine, the EMA, you can just buy a climatic chamber from us, and yeah. you'll be able to use it straight away.
Yeah. One of the great things that I love in talking here, especially, is when we have current customers bragging on what you do. To me, that says everything about your equipment. So I'm going to read a couple of things that Simon Rogers, again in the UK, or Simon had talked about. He says, I have one other input for watching customers. The spring dyno is so underrated. I bought one, and this is what makes it a great success story. You found another solution for him. I bought one for our own testing. However, it turned into one of the best sales tools. When you test a spring and you see how it was or how it is faded or out of range, it is your customer. You cannot argue with the results, and the purchase is new. So, basically saying, look, we've used these to test and this has worked out for our customers. And he also went on to say the spring dyno is needed in the dirt late model world. It would make their spring smashing so much more detailed. They don't know what they're missing. So I love hearing literally testimonials from the people that you're working directly with and have been working directly with, Andrius.
Yeah, that's as I mentioned, we are pushing our products to the limits. If it's not good enough, or if we get a feedback from our clients, we adjust the product according to feedback. So we are never stopping innovating or changing our products. It's always on the go, and I'm really happy. There is no better reward than hearing our happy customer.
Yeah, I like that. Another question that came through for a workshop that modifies suspensions for motocross, what could be the most suitable machine?
It really depends, for I need to hear, what kind of loads your damping forces you are testing and so on. If there is no budget at all, you can go with our Featherlight machine, which costs 8,000 euros now. But if you have a budget, I would definitely recommend our mid level, or mid version or heavy version, because then you will be covered testing with any shocks, forks, and so on.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the notes I wrote to myself earlier when you talked about, hey, look, there's a lot that goes into this. We do this in house. It might not be expensive. To me, that's actually a welcome thing to hear. When you said if you have no budget, but then you said $8,000, I was like, that actually sounds like a deal. I mean, when you consider what you're doing and the amount of money that we spend on performance and different things like that, to not just be able to improve your performance, but to also get repeatable, detailed testing and everything that you like, that honestly sounds like a great deal, Andrius.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we want those more affordable options. They will have some limitations, of course, but we are trying, to cover all customers and all testing cases.
I like this. I know this has sort of been talked about, but I just want to ask it again, maybe in more specific question. But how does Laba7 Solutions cater to specific industries like motorsport or manufacturing?
So for motorsport, we literally help the guys, to develop better solutions, to develop new setups, or even the new concepts of the shock absorber, because as I mentioned earlier, in motorsports, 0.1 second counts, especially now the the competition in IndyCar, in NASCAR, in F1, in Dakar. After, let's say, a Dakar, after 12 days of racing, sometimes the gap is like 1 minute by the end of the day, by the crossing the line. So it's if you have a better suspension, it can buy a lot. And for OEMs, it's the same. We want to help OEMs to develop new products faster. So just to stay afloat in the market on the top level, and yeah, we will help them in any ways they can think of.
All right. This next question definitely gets way out of my knowledge here, so I'm going to ask it exactly how it's written. Wyatt from MCS here. For those of us who rely on Rorig crank machines, and I hope I pronounced that right, can we
Yeah.
load our legacy CVP and PVP data into your software to overlay it with new data produced on your machines?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
So it's a short answer, but yes, you can. We did some additional, again, extra mile. So I know that the market, the Rohik is the machines that were in the market for, I don't know, last 20, 25 years or even more. So many are used to them and they are using them and so on. And those are really good machines. So we implemented the possibility to open the data files directly on our software, and you can directly compare in the software all of those files.
Oh, that is really cool. Let's see. Brilliant. Andrius and team always deliver. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Again, this is great. Another comment from one of your customers: bought a spring and shock dyno in 2020, and I'm totally happy with them. Using them nearly every day. It would be nice to see a car wheel alignment tool from these guys with their car scales. So, thoughts there?
Actually, I'm not sure if I can tell everything, but we will deliver quite a few new tools and new equipment. So, we are focused on the big machines, which delivers like most of the cash flow to us, but we don't put like innovative ideas to the side. We are working on them, and yeah, follow us and see what we will bring next, because this year will be interesting.
I love this. I like the little tease of look, it's only in March and we have a lot more coming, which is great. By the way, he said that's nice to hear. I know, look, I'm here in Texas. You're obviously in Europe in a different country, but if I have questions, if I have, solutions that I want Laba7's help with, what is the best way to contact you guys? I know we can reach you through the ePart Trade website, but what's the best way to have conversations?
So yeah, one way is the ePart Trade website. Then of course you can write email directly to me, andrews@laba7.com, and I think you will find my number directly on our webpage, laba7.com. So drop us a message on WhatsApp, write us on email, and we will answer you as soon as possible.
How long does it take to develop a product? I mean, obviously you've come a long way since you just started making something for a friend. And then a lot of the things that you've already talked about and some of the things that you've teased a little bit coming into the future. But can you take us into that process a little bit?
It really depends. It depends on the complexity of the product and so on, like what kind of level of the product you want to develop. Because the deeper you go, we have saying here in Lithuania, the deeper you go in the forest, the more trees you have. So EMA to the, let's say, level what we have now, it took literally 2 years and a lot of money. R&D is really expensive. And sometimes it's good that it's just not working, let's say, but sometimes you have fire, you have burned equipment, you have burned parts and so on. So yeah, sometimes it gets really expensive.
Yeah. But the other good thing, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about at the beginning, is how many things that you actually develop and produce in-house. You talked about it'd be real easy to buy a bunch of off-the-shelf things, but if you're developing something truly that's maybe going to be better than the next person's, or if you're trying to develop something that's going to be better than what you already have, you have to have that level of control, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's so developing something in-house opens much bigger doors, because let's say someone comes to you and they want some kind of special solution for their application, and if you are, let's say, not able to deliver the solution, you are relying on some third-part suppliers, and those ones probably will not be interested into developing something for you, and then you have to add something in. Here at Laba7, you get everything at one step. We will do everything.
I like that. Well, and going back to what we were talking about earlier, ease of use, quality, design, literally covering every detail, says everything about what you're doing there at Laba7. And I really applaud you for making sure that you literally turn over every stone to make sure everything is right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear.
Thank you very much. There is a quick question I just saw, last questions before we wrap everything, Brad.
Yeah, Greg came in late. Can you please let me know what kind of funds we are talking about in terms of EMA? I guess maybe he's talking about the cost of product.
Yeah, so that's also very interesting topic or very interesting part of the topic. Usually EMA, at least these days, the price starts at 100K. Our cheapest, or let's say most affordable option is only 50,000 euros. And then if you want to have biggest one, it's 160,000 euros. But for that price, for the biggest price, biggest machine price, I think you get the best performance on the market.
I like that. And then one final question here. It says, when can we expect a standalone data logging ecosystem?
What do you mean by, okay, this will be a very interesting question. I'm not sure what does it mean exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I guess standalone data logging ecosystem. I mean, your software stands alone as it currently is?
It is standalone. It's so you install it on your computer and you don't rely, let's say, on the internet or anything else. You can be testing wherever you want. And regarding data logging, if it's some data logging for automotive applications and everything else, so we have a lot of on the pipeline. So if we will see some interest for this product, definitely we might even deliver this year, because we have all the data logging know-how. We know how to do it. We just need to make comfortable for the users to use it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, this was a true pleasure doing this with you.
It's likewise, Brad.
Thank you very much, Andrius. What a great webinar. So this webinar has been recorded. It will be available later on the ePortrait platform, distributed through our newsletter and social media channel. In the meantime, we pushed Laba7 product back on the homepage of ePortrait. So for more information and updates, please visit ePortrait.com. Next webinar will be on sustainability in motorsport. So again, thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
ePortrait is a digital platform that we've created basically to make life easier in the business community of auto racing.
ePortrait, there is no e-commerce. It's literally connection, just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier.
When you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information, and then from there it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
ePortrait really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
Land speed record holder George Poteet's Speed Demon rocketed 481 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. You don't go that fast without ARP fasteners.
There is no way that we could go the speed that we've gone, the number of times we've gone, with a lesser quality bolt than ARP supplies to us. And we absolutely wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for ARP.
When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
We're Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our team of dedicated performance industry and logistics experts get valuable cars and components to the track on time in top condition. We provide expedited logistics solutions for the performance industry using direct routes instead of deferred options, and communicate all necessary information to the appropriate resources to meet regulations and ensure a smooth transit and secure delivery, both domestically and internationally. And we exceed customer expectations by providing best-in-class service with an efficient and cost-effective system in place. Contact us today to book your next shipment.
You work as hard as your truck, and you have no time for downtime. That's why more truck owners trust Blue Def, America's #1 diesel exhaust fluid brand. Each batch is guaranteed pure, so you can avoid costly repairs caused by inferior DEF. Demand America's best for your truck. Blue Def and Blue Def Platinum. Put trust in your truck.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series. Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
Where will you find Farea racing components? Circle track, drag racing, and any top race shop. In every form of motorsports competition, our valves and valve train components deliver race-proven design and technology. And we've brought that same performance to our street applications as well. We're backed by 5 decades of experience, an extensive range of off-the-shelf components, and our custom valve department has the fastest turnaround times in the industry. Farea Racing Components. Stand with us or race against us.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crowder Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crowder Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crowder Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crowder, victory is within your reach.
At SeaTech, we're on a mission to lead the storage industry through innovative custom-built solutions that meet every challenge head-on. Designed for versatility, whether in a commercial setting or at home, we create high-quality, durable products that stand the test of time. SeaTech, engineering and innovation.